Hey, my name is Kyle. My stepmom's husband had passed away just a few months before she met my father, which is part of why they connected. Both my stepmom and my dad had lost the people that they loved, but they seemed to have found love with each other. After they got married, my stepmom moved in with us. She was really nice, but she always seemed to be looking at her phone. She even seemed to talk to her phone while cooking food, which would not be weird, but every time I walked into the room, she always looked up at me and went silent. I wondered who she was talking to that could be such a private conversation. One day, when I got home, my stepmom was in the kitchen cooking something. I tried not to make any noise to avoid irritating her with another interruption. I could not have expected what I overheard. "You look so handsome. I just cannot get over it." She was talking to her phone again, as she usually did. She mumbled on and on, talking to what seemed like it would have been my dad. However, my dad was always working until later. I listened to her mumbling to a secret lover for a few minutes, until I was sure that she was talking to somebody. I opened the front door again and slammed it behind me to make her think that I had only just come home. My stepmom immediately stopped talking to her phone when she knew I was there. She laid her phone on the counter as usual when she was busy with her hands. This time, since she heard me coming, she didn't seem bothered by my presence. I knew that I needed to look at the phone and figured out who she was cheating on my dad with. I was angry at the thought that she could be so heartless, so I asked her, "Can I help you with dinner?" She thanked me and told me to watch the food in a pot on the stove and to turn the heat down if it got too hot. After that, she left the kitchen and headed to the restroom. Her phone was still on the counter. I thought I had a good reason for suspicion, so I grabbed her phone and turned it on. On the screen was a webcam feed. In the video feed, I could see sideways lamps and empty furniture turned on end. It was a tightly packed mess, like the inside of a very poorly organized storage locker. Right in the middle of all the mess was this man, sitting in a chair. I just watched for a minute, but nothing about the video feed changed. The guy on the other side was not moving. I noticed that the man was dressed really well. His suit looked expensive and he wore a bright red necktie. It was so unsettling the way he just casually leaned back in the cluttered area. His eyes were closed as if he was taking a rest. He looked peaceful, but sickly. He looked like a real zombie or something. I quickly pulled out my phone and took a picture of the webcam feed. As soon as I could, I excused myself and went to my room. I texted my dad the image and told him I saw her talking to the phone. At this point, I realized I was probably wrong to suspect her of cheating, but something very wrong was going on. I could feel it. My dad called me to talk through the whole situation. Soon after he got home, I heard my stepmom burst into tears. The next day, she was gone. My dad explained to me that the man I saw on the phone was my stepmom had been keeping a dead man locked away in storage and visited him regularly. He told me that my stepmom has been hospitalized in a medical facility that specializes in helping people that are deeply depressed. And it turns out it was her deceased husband she had been seeing on her phone. Apparently, my stepmom is making progress towards overcoming her grief and depression. My dad said we are going to visit her soon. It will be the first time I see her since the day I found her creepy secret. My dad still seems to care about my stepmom. I am really glad for his sake that she was not cheating. Though, in some ways, talking to a dead body on a webcam is much, much worse.